Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda. We'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ramadan Pulse. We're so excited as usual. We're taking you all around the world courtesy of Huda TV, or should I say Air TV. So put your luggage in the upright compartment, put your seat in the upright position, in the overhead compartment, your seat in the upright position, and fasten your belts because you're taking a flight on Air Huda. The first episode, I took you guys all the way to Bosnia. We even took you to Srebrenica, where the massacre happened, and may Allah preserve the Bosnian Muslims, because as we saw, the Bosnian Muslims are very strong and there's a thriving community there as well. As you see, as the director always asks me to tell you, the guys, the phone number is 0020238555. 248 or 249. Back to what I was saying. Now we see the Bosnian Muslims are thriving there in Bosnia. We're very pleased about that. Then we took you on a flight to Cairo, Egypt, to Alexandria, Egypt. We took you all around Egypt, and that was very exciting. And what a lovely country it truly is. After that, we took you to not the Persian Gulf, we took you to the Arabian Gulf and took you to the UAE, and we had a beautiful experience there as well. After that, we took you all the way north up here to Denmark, and that was a beautiful country, lots of cows there and cheese, and it was nice. And today, we're taking you a trip. Where to today? I told you yesterday it might be right here. It might be in Africa, and today it indeed is in Africa. I'm not going to tell you if it's in the north, south, east, or west. You guys have to guess. Give us a call or give us an email, give us a Skype, and actually when you find out what country it is. And I'm joined by our special guest in the studio today, Brother Luqman Khalili. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Luqman.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
Thank you so much, brother, for joining us on this program, Ramadan Pulse. As I told you, and the viewers, we're taking our viewers all around the world. We want to unite the Muslim world and show them how Muslims from various countries are celebrating Ramadan. So, brother, we don't want to let them know where exactly you are from, but can you give us a general idea?
No, actually, my name is Luqman Khalani from Africa. I'm studying in the Faculty of Islamic Propagation.
MashaAllah, here in Cairo. So, brother, are you from North Africa, South Africa, East Africa? What region of Africa? Let's narrow it down a bit without saying exactly where.
And actually, I belong to South Africa.
Okay, towards the south of Africa. Okay, very good. Excellent. Okay, so this country, I actually went online to CIA World Factbook because I thought if anybody had good information about the Muslim world and Muslim communities, it would be the CIA. So they had some information about this country we'll be speaking, your country, which we will be speaking about today. It says this country includes the Prince Edward Islands. Is that correct?
No, it has an island like Robben Island.
Okay, that's enough. Don't say anymore. I don't want that. Thank you, brother. That's a very famous place. People might know that. It's put that in perspective. This country is slightly less than twice the size of the state of Texas. To put that in perspective, and it borders many countries. Can you name some of the countries that this country borders?
Okay, actually, the borders that are connected to this country, we find that the borders between them and the Kingdom of Lesotho and the Kingdom of Swaziland.
Okay, excellent. And Botswana as well?
Botswana,
Mozambique, Namibia, and Zimbabwe. Is that correct, brother?
Yes,
excellent.
Correct.
And actually, you're from the Kingdom of Lesotho, aren't you?
Yes, I'm.
But that's not the country we're talking about today.
Okay, no.
Okay, so we're not going to give it away. Coastline, you guys have a vast, this country has a vast coastline, to almost 3,000 kilometers. So that's beautiful. What about the climate in this country, brother?
Actually, it is so fantastic that it is just cool. It is not that much hot and it is not that much cold. It is just when you are there, you feel like you are in. It's just
nice and cool.
Country, yes.
I like it. It reminds me of where I'm from, San Francisco, California. It's always nice and cool. So that's very nice. Of course, you have a vast plateau and rugged hills and a narrow coastal plain. What about the ethnic groups in this country? Can you give us some background, just really briefly, about the ethnic groups before we go to the video?
African groups, I mean.
In this country we're speaking about, what about the ethnic groups? Is it majority black, majority white, tribal? What is going on inside this country?
Okay, actually, I can say that 79% of the blacks.
Okay, and the remainder are?
And like 10%
maybe white.
They are whites from Europe, and 2% they are from original from kind of like from Asia.
From Asia. And by the way, there's a very, I forgot to mention this, a very famous Muslim preacher from this country. I believe not originally from this country, but lives there now. He has passed away. May Allah have mercy on his soul. And he was a very famous man, I think a lot of the viewers will know him. We have a lot, the population is nearly 50 million in this country, literacy 86.4%. We have, out of 100, of course, we have a lot of different languages being spoken here. Can you just briefly give me some of the languages that are spoken in this country?
Okay, the main languages that are spoken in the country, of course, is English, one of the most famous languages, and also we're having Afrikaans. Afrikaans is the languages consists of French and Germany and
these European languages. What about the local languages?
And local languages, we do have Sotho language, and we have in Zulu language and Swazi language and Pedi language and many other languages.
Oh, okay, so many, mashallah, very good. Brother, you guys at home, let's check out this video, guys. You stay tuned to Ramadan Pulse.
تبارك الذي جعل في السماء بروجا وجعل فيها سراجا وقمرا منيرا وهو الذي جعل الليل والنهار خلفة لمن أراد أن يذكر أو أراد شكورا وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما والذين يبيتون لربهم سجدا وقياما والذين يقولون ربنا اصرف عنا عذاب جهنم إن عذابها كان غراما إنها ساءت مستقرا ومقاما والذين إذا أنفقوا لم يسرفوا ولم يقتروا وكان بين ذلك قواما
رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن لله لله يهفو آملي لله ولحفظ كتاب الله من أول بسم الله للختم وللرضوان.
Certainly hope you guys enjoyed that video. Give me a call if you know what country we're talking about now. Brother, do you want to let them know what country we're speaking about?
The country that we're talking about now is about South Africa.
MashaAllah. By watching that video, I really reminded myself what a beautiful country it is with all those wild animals and the coast and things like that. But before we talk a little bit more about it, let's go to our phone lines. We have our sheikh and our dear friend Areeb Islam, who is actually in South Africa now. He's a prominent Muslim public speaker and an activist. And you have seen him on many programs, including on Peace TV. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Sheikh Areeb Islam.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, Sheikh?
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining. I'm not a sheikh. I just have a big beard. I'm just a regular guy. But thank you.
We all sheikh.
Thank you so much for joining us. You have a beautiful background. Where are you right now?
Well, this is my back garden. No, I'm joking. This is what I see every day. This is Durban. I'm in the Zulu kingdom of KwaZulu-Natal. It's one of the most beautiful places in South Africa. It's where the Zulu nation comes from, the proud Zulu nation. And there's lots of these places all over still in KwaZulu-Natal where I live. And there's a couple of birds around me at the moment making a noise, so you'll hear some strange noises in the background, inshallah.
But brother, mashallah, it seems like an amazing country and a beautiful country as far as the environment is concerned. But what about Ramadan in this country? I believe because you're located at the southern tip of Africa, are the days very long and make the fasting a bit difficult?
Not too bad, because it's about 5:15, so we've only got another 2 hours or so before the sun goes down, so it's not that bad. We're in KwaZulu-Natal. The people in Cape Town will be suffering a lot longer. The hours it's about another 4 or 5 hours to go. So it differs depending on what province you are. So we're very fortunate this year that it's quite a short time. It's more or less from a 12-hour period that we're only looking at. But alhamdulillah, Muslims are very dedicated here. Like your brother said, we are quite a small percentage of Muslims in South Africa, only about 3%. But we might be the minority, but we're the majority as far as Ramadan comes. For example, many of the shopping centers, you'll go through them at the moment and they are basically empty. That sort of tells you what type of dedication that the Muslims are committing this year to Ramadan. You can go through the centers and you'll see them maybe 5-10% full. And that is really, really encouraging. That means the Muslims are taking it seriously this year in South Africa.
MashaAllah. Now, brother, can you give the viewers a little bit of insight into the ethnic makeup of the Muslim community in South Africa?
The majority are from the Indo-Paki community. That's the largest percentage. But that is changing. What we're finding is more indigenous brothers coming into Islam from the Zulu, Xhosa, Venda, Tswana, all the different tribes that we have in South Africa. It really appeals to them, especially to the African community, because they see so much in their culture that they find in Islam. So we find that the African community find it very easy to translate that into their day-to-day lives. So it's a huge movement. Groups like the Islamic Dawah movement in South Africa are doing a very, very good job in the indigenous communities. Outside of that, you also have the European community like myself, the Caucasian community. We're probably looking at about maybe between 2,000 and 5,000. So we're very, very small. We don't even we're not even a bleep yet on the radar, but we are growing in numbers. But alhamdulillah, it's not about numbers. This is something that is very important for us to understand as da'is or people involved in Islamic work. 3%, we have 3% Muslim population in this country, but basically we control everything. We have, there are 3% that are active, and that is very, very important.
Excellent point, brother. If you have a interesting personal history as well, can you just tell us a little bit about how you came to Islam? Because I think it's something that the viewers may find interesting.
Well, you spoke about a sheikh that was very important that came from South Africa.
Yes, I forgot to mention his name. That's right. Go ahead, tell us about him. That's right.
That's a great Sheikh Ahmadiyya. In fact, where I'm looking into the camera, if I look past the camera in the background, I can actually see his offices from here. And that's where it all happened. So I'm basically not even a half a mile from where I am right now is his offices. And it was Ramadan 10 years ago, or 11 years ago, in fact. The time goes so fast. That I actually went to his office more or less around about the same time, the first week in Ramadan. And I went there to do a bit of jihad with him because I was a Christian missionary, a priest, an evangelist, and I wanted to go jihad him and convert him to Christianity. And unfortunately, when I went there, he was already ill. I had met him 3 or 4 times in my life already. Once when I was 16 years old, again when I was in my 20s, and again when I was in my 30s, and then when I eventually reverted in 2001. So the interaction that I had with him was amazing because this man had so much knowledge. And here's a man who had a grade 7 that he had accomplished in his life. He never went to university, never went to college, but he had that heart for Islam. And he shook the world. I mean, he really did. And so when I went to see him, I spoke to him, and obviously he was sick already at that time. And another man was there by the name of Ford Hendricks, who was a fantastic brother, and he was one of those people who really taught me about Islam properly and spent that time with me. We've got a lawnmower coming in the background, that's quite funny. So he taught me as much as he could about Islam, and he guided me and he showed me the way. Perhaps I should just wait for the vehicle to go by.
No problem, no problem. That is an amazing story that you came to Islam after meeting Ahmadiyya. He's one of my favorites as well. Brother Luke, man, are you aware of Sheikh Ahmadiyya? I'm sure you are.
I'm aware of Sheikh Ahmed that although I did not see him in life.
But you watched, did his videos kind of influence you?
I watched his videos.
Oh, mashallah, yeah, me as well. I thought they were amazing. Brother, Sheikh Areeb had talked to a little bit about the different ethnic groups and tribes in South Africa. And before I go back to him, I wanted to ask you, brother, you actually are from the Kingdom of
Lesotho.
And this is an independent country?
It is an independent country.
Okay, that's inside, surrounded by South Africa.
Yes. That's
okay,
right.
And historically, have there been some important events there related to Nelson Mandela? Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Like what?
Like when the whites were mistreating the blacks in South Africa, so Lesotho was the main place that secure some of the South Africans who were running from South Africa.
So this is is why this name sounds very familiar to me.
Yes.
So it has historical importance in the history of South Africa. Brother Areeb, I couldn't quite hear you when you said when you gave us your location. Where exactly are you in South Africa right now?
Well, I'm right on the coast in a place called Durban, which is in the Zulu Kingdom of KwaZulu-Natal. This is where Shaka Zulu, most people have heard of at least Shaka Zulu. So he was born and raised in this area. So that's where I live at. It's a coastal area. You could relate it to perhaps like Florida.
Something like that, okay.
Very similar to that. So you've got a very young crowd, a very vibrant crowd, very interested, a very university-orientated city, with a beautiful multicultural community that really tolerate, understand, and respect each other. And we cannot ask for anything more than that.
Yeah, that is true. That is wonderful. And I imagine wherever there are universities, there usually is a thriving Muslim community. Is that the case in Durban?
We have amazing a number of Muslims in South Africa, but in Durban and Johannesburg and Cape Town, you see it even more, because you will find hundreds of mosques everywhere, and all of them are full. So alhamdulillah, we have a very strong, growing Muslim community. Probably every day I see about 5 people a day will come to my office to take Shahada.
Wow,
so
that
gives you an idea of the growth of Islam in a place like KwaZulu-Natal or Durban. So it's not even that we're having to go out to tell people. They're coming and knocking on our door and asking how they can become Muslims. So alhamdulillah, it's really an amazing city to be in, and it's the hub of dawah in South Africa, definitely.
That is amazing. I mean, when we look at the situation now, I believe, as you mentioned, you are a revert to Islam. I am actually a revert to Islam as well. My family is actually originally from Greece. Brother Lukman is a revert to Islam as well from the kingdom of Lesotho. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. Brother, tell us a little bit. I asked Brother Areeb to tell us a little bit about his story, how he came to Islam. Tell us briefly a little bit about your story, how you came to Islam, because this will help people get through their fast and raise their iman and spirit, because people are very pleased and happy when they see people come to Islam. So tell us, brother, a little bit about how you came to Islam.
Well, I can say that the main thing is actually since I was a Christian, I was not minded that the time will come whereby I will be a Muslim. That was out of my dream. In fact, I couldn't think that the time will come whereby I will become a Muslim one of the days. I used to believe that the religion where I am is a true religion, and there is nothing that can change me from that. But that was through the will of Allah that I met some few of my friends who were actually Muslims. Who are Muslims, because Islam in Lesotho is like 2%.
Okay, very small.
Few. So I met those few friends of mine from Lesotho who used to study in the same school. So through them, I saw the way they behave and the way they act towards other people.
Right.
So that's the thing that actually amazed me a lot. Then because of them, then they became a Muslim.
Oh, mashallah, that's an amazing story. Brother Areeb, have you traveled to the kingdom of Lesotho before?
Yes, I have. Most of Africa I have had the privilege of going through, and Lesotho is a beautiful, beautiful country. It's full of amazing mountains, and one of the greatest mountains that is well known in KwaZulu-Natal is called the Drakensberg, which translates the dragon's back.
Oh, and that's wonderful.
It's a beautiful piece that actually borders on Lesotho. And you go through Lesotho and you see these such humble, genuine people have such a desire for family unit, for love of the nature, for love of the community, and it's a privilege to go through Lesotho every time I go through there.
MashaAllah, Brother Areeb, it looks like by looking at your video, it looks like it's not quite Maghrib time yet in South Africa.
No, we've still got another 2 hours to go.
So where will you break your fast today, brother?
Well, we have so many mosques in Durban, so I'm sort of like a traveling between all of them because we've got so many varieties. So today I'll be at Grey Street Mosque. Grey Street Mosque is the largest mosque in the Southern Hemisphere.
Wow.
It's gigantic. Probably holds about 7,000 to 8,000 people, and this is normal on a Friday. You will see the mosque is totally full. In fact, there are so many people that people are standing on the roof of the mosque because they can't fit in. So alhamdulillah, that's where we'll be today, and it's right in the middle of the city. Durban is a very, very small city, but it's in the middle of what we call a city.
Okay. Brother Areeb, I'm sure the Taraweeh prayers are amazing in South Africa as they are everywhere. Are the masjid very full? There are many people, I imagine, for the Taraweeh prayers there.
Yeah. It's very, very good because we have a lot of the sheikhs have learned over the years, a lot of the imams or whatever have learned over the years to really slow it down. People have complained, like, you're going too fast, we can't hear what you're saying, or they go too slow that nobody knows what's happening. There seems to have, over the last 3 or 4 years, they've come to that beautiful, happy medium where when the recitation is done, we can understand what is being said. What has been read for the day is put up on the notice board so we know exactly what we're reading. Even those people who are maybe new reverts to Islam, they can go home and they can read it in English or Zulu or whatever language they want, and they can come the next day and then hear it in Arabic and try to catch that word, 1 or 2 words, and learn that way. So alhamdulillah, it's a beautiful experience during Ramadan today.
That's amazing. Thank you for that, for that, those comments. Brother Luke, man, what about the food of South Africa? What are you guys eating down there for iftar?
Okay, especially in Ramadan, we do eat sweet dishes and samosas and fruits and so forth. There are so many things to eat, but the heavy meal that we do have after Taraweeh.
Oh, excellent! Yeah.
Yes, the heavy meal that we have after Taraweeh.
That's very wise of you to have. Excuse me. That's very wise of you to have the heavy meal after Taraweeh, so it doesn't really slow us down before the prayers. As Brother Areeb may know, we're based here in Egypt, Brother Areeb, and we have many people like to have a traditional plate of food right at the time of breaking the fast, which makes it a bit difficult to complete the daily prayers. So, what kind of foods will you be eating for iftar, Brother Areeb?
Well, those who know me know I'm a very health-conscious person and I'm very cautious of what I eat. So everything is organic, and most of the time I break fast with non-meat products. But alhamdulillah, we're very, very fortunate here in South Africa. We have a country just up the road called Namibia, which is a gigantic, massive desert. And in this desert, they grow beautiful, gigantic dates, and they're so juicy. So obviously, that is #1 on the list. We have other things like samosas and things like that are quite localized and indigenous to the community. But it differs from household to household and culture to culture. The most important part is that we share it with friends and family, and even a stranger, inviting them in to join with us is very, very important.
Thank you so much for your time, Brother Areeb Islam. I'm looking forward to, I would like to visit you in South Africa because you really just illustrated what a beautiful country it is, and we certainly hope you have a wonderful Ramadan, and we hope that you visit us at Huda TV soon to do a couple programs for us as well.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair for having me on the program, and may Allah guide us and direct us all to the straight path.
I mean, thank you, brother. Thank you. I mean, well, that was a nice phone call from South Africa, brother. It really makes it, it really shows what a beautiful country South Africa is, which makes me ask this next question. My friend Muhammad Tile, he always wants me to ask this question. He says, what is the viewership of the people of South Africa regarding Huda TV? Did you know about Huda TV before you traveled to here in the Middle East? Did you watch Huda TV in South Africa?
Yes, I do watch, but not so many channels actually, because I used to watch those who are only concerned about South Africa. That's what I used to watch.
Okay, but Huda TV in South Africa, is it popular?
It's popular.
Oh, it's very popular. Okay, because as you know, we do broadcast, I believe, on Arabsat, which covers South Africa. Well, I think South Africa is one of the top countries, if not the best country in Africa. It seems to live in, with just the wildlife and how beautiful it is. Although it's a small community there, it still seems very welcoming to Muslims in a very friendly place.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's great, because although I think you said the Muslims were 3%?
3%.
3%, you said it's a very small percentage of Muslims there, but it seems like a very friendly place and welcoming amongst the the people there. So that's wonderful, brother. I certainly, of course, South Africa is divided into 9 pieces here. It says the Eastern Cape, the Free State, Gauteng, KwaZulu, which I believe was where Areeb was calling from, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, Northern Cape, Northwest, and Western Cape. So 9 pieces there. Of course, you're from the Kingdom of Lesotho.
That's true.
And I would like to, and I knew that name when I heard that because I knew that this was related to the revolution and the freedom fight of the South African people there in Lesotho. Brother, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for showing us South Africa and the Kingdom of Lesotho. It was a beautiful episode. I look forward to having you again on Huda TV sometime soon, inshallah.
You're welcome, inshallah.
I just want to tell the viewers, okay, we've taken you all around the world courtesy of Air Huda. Now we're in South Africa, and what a truly beautiful and amazing country it is. Next time we're going to go somewhere else. I'm not going to tell you where it is. It might be America. It might be in Europe. It might be in Africa. It might be in China. Who knows? If you want to find out, you have to watch Ramadan Pulse. And before I let you go, I want to remind you about Ramadan quiz on our Facebook page, our Huda TV Facebook page. We're doing a quiz starting on the 10th of Ramadan to the 30th of Ramadan. The winner will be announced right here on this show. There's a lot of prizes, including Huda Fan Club membership, which includes a lot of free gifts, a free scholarship to our online academy, hudaonlineacademy.com, so check that webpage out as well as a DVD set of Dr. Muhammad Salah's program, The Prophet's Prayer, that teaches us how to pray according to the Prophet, peace be with him. So definitely keep an eye out for Ramadan quiz. And until next time, you guys, I leave you in the care of Allah. I'll see you guys tomorrow, inshallah, same time, same channel. So see you next time. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
We'll talk about Huda, we'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda, we'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home.